Good day, sir. We are going to tackle about identifying emerging trends in policing due to globalization, such as the use of technology and data sharing. Emerging trends in policing due to globalization reflect the increasing interconnectedness of the world, the rapid advancement of technology, and the growing importance of data sharing. Number 1. The use of advanced technology. Surveillance technologies. Policing agencies around the world are using cutting-edge surveillance tools, including facial recognition, drones, body cameras, and automated license plate readers. These technologies help law enforcement monitor and respond to threats more efficiently. Next, the artificial intelligence, or AI and machine learning. AI is being used to predict and analyze crime patterns, which can assist in proactive policing strategies. Predictive policing tools analyze past crime data to forecast where and when crimes are likely to occur, allowing police to allocate resources more effectively. Next, the cybersecurity and cybercrime units. As more activities go digital, law enforcement agencies are increasingly focused on fighting cybercrime. This includes hacking, data breaches, online fraud, and digital offenses. Specialized units are being formed to tackle this growing area of crime. Next, the biometric systems. Biometric identification, such as fingerprint scanning and retinal scanning, is becoming more widespread in criminal identification, improving accuracy and reducing the risk of wrongful arrest. Data sharing and international cooperation. Global data networks. With globalization, law enforcement agencies are increasingly collaborating with counterparts from other countries. Information sharing networks such as Interpol, Europol, and the FBI's National Crime Information have facilitated cross-border information exchange. This helps agencies track and apprehend criminals who operate internationally. Real-time information sharing. The development of cloud-based systems and secure communication platforms allows the real-time sharing of intelligence and evidence between police agencies across jurisdictions. This is particularly useful in combating terrorism, organized crime, and human trafficking. Cross-border collaboration. Police agencies are working with international organizations and other countries' law enforcement bodies to tackle transnational crimes. This includes operations targeting drug cartels, human trafficking rings, and international terrorism. Next, data privacy concerns. As data sharing expands, concerns regarding privacy and data protection laws have become more prominent. Balancing global cooperation with individual rights is a growing challenge. Third one, cyber policing and digital investigations. Digital footprints. As more people use digital platforms, law enforcement agencies are increasingly focusing on gathering evidence from social media, emails, and other online resources. Digital forensic as an emerging field aimed at recovering and analyzing data from computers, smartphones, and other devices to solve crimes. Blockchain and cryptocurrency monitoring. The rise of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin has introduced new challenges in policing financial crimes, such as money laundering. Law enforcement is investing in blockchain analysis tools to track cryptocurrency transactions and uncover illicit activities. Next, the dark web surveillance. The dark web, often used for illegal transactions and communication, is another area where global police agencies are increasing their focus. Specialized units are trained to monitor and infiltrate these spaces to combat illegal activities such as human trafficking and the sale of illegal goods. Next, community policing and social media engagement. Public interaction via social media. Social media platforms are being used to connect police with the public, share information, and engage in community policing efforts. Officers are using these platforms not only to disseminate information quickly, but also to interact with the public and build trust. Next, the policing in a globalized context. Transnational crime fighting. With globalization, criminal networks are becoming more international, making traditional local policing methods less effective. As a result, international police forces are increasing their cooperation to fight organized crime, human trafficking, drug trafficking, terrorism, and other cross-border criminal activities. Next, the cultural sensitivity and training. As policing is now more international and diverse, officers are being trained in cultural sensitivity and handling cases in multinational contexts. This helps police forces to better interact with immigrant populations, address international issues like refugee crisis, and handle crimes that span multiple jurisdictions. Next, the global standards and accountability. International standards. As police forces modernize and adopt new technologies, international standards for policing and human rights are becoming more important. Organizations like the United Nations and human rights groups are advocating for ethical policing practices that protect individuals' rights globally. Next, the transparency and oversight. The need for transparency in police operations, especially with the use of technologies like facial recognitions, is pushing agencies to establish stronger oversight mechanisms. Public and governmental pressure for accountability in law enforcement is growing, especially in cases of potential abuse of power. In conclusion, the globalization of policing has led to a more interconnected, technology-driven approach to law enforcement, with an emphasis on cross-border cooperation, the use of advanced technologies, and data-driven strategies. While these trends offer significant benefits in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, they also raise important questions about privacy, ethics, and accountability. Policymakers and law enforcement agencies must navigate their challenges carefully to ensure that they can adapt to the evolving landscape of global policing while safeguarding civil liberties.
Resource allocation. Uneven resources between countries. Globalization has highlighted the disparity in resources available to police forces around the world. While wealthier nations can afford cutting-edge technologies, well-trained officers, and modern infrastructure, developing countries may struggle with outdated equipment, inadequate training, and low staffing levels. This gap in resources can hinder international policing efforts, especially in transnational crimes like cybercrime, terrorism, and human trafficking. Global policing efforts stretch resources. International cooperation between police agencies requires substantial coordination in resources allocation. Countries may struggle to provide the personal, financial support, or technological tools needed to contribute effectively to global policing networks. Furthermore, the focus on global cooperation can sometimes mean that resources are diverted away from local issues, impacting effectiveness of national policing efforts.
Make predictions about future trends in global policing. Consider how continued globalization might shape the future of policing. The future of global policing will likely be shaped by continued globalization, the rapid evolution of technology, and shifting social, political, and economic dynamics. As the world becomes more interconnected, policing strategies will need to adapt to address both new challenges and opportunities. Number 1. Increase use of technology and artificial intelligence. AI-driven surveillance tools like facial recognition, body cameras, and drones will become more common in policing, helping law enforcement monitor crowds, spot suspicious behavior, and identify criminals faster. However, there will be growing concerns about privacy and human rights, leading to the need for regulations on how these technologies are used. At the same time, as digital crimes such as hacking, fraud, and identity thefts increase, police forces will invest more in specialized cybercrime units and digital forensics to investigate and prevent these crimes. Collaboration between global cybersecurity agencies and private companies will be essential to effectively tackle cybercrime, which often crosses national borders. Number 2. Expansion of global policing networks. As crime becomes more global, law enforcement agencies will work together more closely across borders to tackle issues like human trafficking, terrorism, and organized crime. This will involve using advanced technology and information sharing platforms for real-time data exchange between police forces worldwide. Organizations like Interpol, Europol, and the UNODC will grow and improve their effectiveness. Additionally, law enforcement will carry out more joint international operations with investigators from different countries collaborating on large-scale crimes like cybercrime and trafficking. These operations will be supported by secure digital platforms that make communication and coordination easier. Number 3. Rise of community-oriented and inclusive policing. As the world becomes more multicultural, police forces will focus more on building trust and cooperation with local communities, especially by engaging proactivity and being transparent and accountable. This will help address issues like racial profiling and police brutality. Police will also shift toward community-led policing, particularly in urban areas with diverse populations. Additionally, officers will receive training to understand and respect different cultures, improving their ability to interact with immigrant and minority communities. This cultural competence will help reduce tensions and improve relationships between police and the public.
Conclusion. The future of global policing will be shared by the continuing evolution of technology, increasing international collaboration, and an evolving understanding of cultural sensitivity in human rights. While globalization creates new challenges, it also provides new tools and opportunities for law enforcement agencies to work together more effectively. The key to successful future policing will be in balancing the needs for security, respect for privacy, human rights and ethical standards, adaptability, technological innovation, and international cooperation will be essential for police force to remain effective in a rapidly changing global landscape.
Provide recommendations for improving global policing practices, addressing current challenges, and leveraging the benefits of globalization. Improving global policing practices in the context of ongoing globalization involves addressing current challenges and harnessing the potential benefits that globalization brings to law enforcement. To enhance global policing, it is essential to focus on international cooperation, technological integration, ethical standards, capacity building, and addressing jurisdictional and cultural differences. Number 1. Strengthen international cooperation and collaboration. Enhance cross-border information sharing. To combat transnational crime, police forces need to share intelligence more effectively across borders. This can be achieved by improving secure data sharing platforms, establishing real-time communication channels, and ensuring consistent standards for data protection. Expanding international law enforcement networks such as Interpol, Europol, and UNODC can provide a central platform for global intelligence exchange. The future of global policing will require a collaborative and adaptable approach to meet the challenges posed by globalization. By strengthening international cooperation, adopting technological innovation, fostering cultural competence, and building capacity in developing countries, law enforcement agencies can effectively address both emerging threats and long-standing issues. Balancing global collaboration with respect for local legal and cultural contexts will be key to ensuring that global policing remains ethical, effective, and accountable.